Good morning, welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Wednesday the 19th of July 2018. I'm Darren Sinden, and you can follow me throughout the day on Twitter by using @ds_Pepperstone. Right, let's take a look at the overnight changes and price moves to be aware of then. A relatively tame session, but there were some movers of note, and we will just focus on a few of those. First of all, the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, the Aussie currency making gains against its US counterpart, up by 0.31% overnight to trade at 74.1990 shortly before we recorded the video. But going the other way, the Chinese currency, the renminbi yuan, down by around 0.42% against the US dollar, and we'll look at the reasons for I should say, those two moves in a bit more detail momentarily. Other movers overnight, the Brazilian real giving back around 0.28% against the US currency, and the Korean won also on the slide again, down by a further 0.36% against its US counterpart. Right then, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets today. Well, we've already had some interesting data out of Australia this morning. National Australia Bank's business confidence data for Q2 came out. Slightly disappointing reading, down from the prior quarter. The unemployment data, though, brought some cheer. Unemployment itself hadn't changed, but job creation rates were improved, and we'll look at what that meant in a moment. To come at 8:30 GMT, we will have retail sales data out of the UK. There's been something of a contradiction between the official and industry data as far as retail sales have been concerned in the UK recently, so it'll be very interesting to pore over these numbers and see how the UK consumer and retail trade is faring. Then we jump forward to 12:30 GMT and cross over the Atlantic to the US, and as it's a Thursday, it must be continuing and initial jobless claims. They're accompanied this week by the influential Philadelphia Fed manufacturing survey for the month of July. At 1300, we have the day's sole central banker speech from the Fed's Juarez, and then a break all the way around to 23:30 tonight when we have national CPI data out of Japan, so consumer price index inflation out of Japan. And at 23:50, you can catch up with foreign investment in Japanese stocks and foreign bond investment into Japan for the week of July 9th. Right then, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye overnight. First of all then, Australian employment data boosts the local currency as job creation numbers in June blow past expectations, almost quadrupling the expected number. The Chinese currency, the renminbi yuan, has weakened sharply versus the US dollar, as the Fed Chair Jerome Powell said on Washington's Capitol Hill that he does have the tools to cushion the US economy from the trade wars. Didn't say that he wanted to do that, but he stood ready and able to, should he be called on. And meanwhile, President Trump has stood by his threat to impose sweeping tariffs on imported in autos and parts, despite objections from both US businesses and members of Congress. Okay then, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day and beyond, and why not think about this? Technology stocks are rarely out of the headlines these days, but it is easy still to forget just how large and dominant some of these businesses are. In fact, just 5 leading tech shares in the US 500 index are now worth more than a combined 282 of their smaller compatriots, at a value of just over $4 trillion. The chart on the right hand side here, a little bit crowded, but it shows you Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft and Facebook, their valuations in a pie chart relative to those of 282 smaller US 500 index constituents. So a pretty visual and arresting graphic, I think you'll agree. Right, please take a moment to read the risk warning. Trading CFDs and foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks or the suitability of leveraged products for you, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative. Thank you for your time.